Hi, my name is Joshua Pex. I'm a lawyer at the law offices of Cohen Decker Pex Brosh. We deal with immigration to Israel and represent clients with everything that has to do with the Israeli Immigration Authority, called in Hebrew Misrad HaPnim. Today we're going to talk a little bit about obtaining legal status in Israel for the fourth generation of Jews, great-grandchildren of Jews. So maybe you know about the law of return that says every Jew may make aliyah and receive Israeli citizenship, but actually the law of return is also allowing children and grandchildren of Jews, so applicants that are not Jewish themselves but they have a parent or their grandchildren of Jews, they can also make aliyah and come to Israel and receive Israeli citizenship. But what about great-grandchildren of Jews? Well, first of all, great-grandchildren of Jews are not allowed to make aliyah according to the law of return and obtain Israeli citizenship. But because of the reason of family unification and the Israeli authorities don't want to separate families, the Ministry of Interior did implement a procedure that grants legal status in Israel for great-grandchildren of Jews that come together with their parents that are grandchildren of Jews. So if a family comes together and wants to immigrate to Israel, and there are minor children that are under the age of 18 and they're coming together with their parents, and the children are great-grandchildren of Jews, these children may obtain legal status in Israel, but it's not done according to the law of return. It's done according to the procedure of the Ministry of Interior. So first of all, you have to understand that obtaining the status in Israel is gradual. First of all, for the first 3 years, this great-grandchild will receive an A5 visa, which is a temporary residency. And based on the fact that the center of life is still in Israel and this child is still with his parents, he will be able, after 3 years, to apply for Israeli citizenship or Israeli permanent residency. Another thing to remember is that if this great-grandchild is above the age of 14, they need to bring a criminal background check to show that they don't have a criminal background. And again, everything is based on family unification. So each year, for these 3 years, the minor child and the family, they need to show that they're together and that their center of life is still in Israel. So what happens if you're a great-grandchild of a Jew but don't exactly fit these criteria? Well, the good news is that even though the procedure is very clear, there are exceptions, and we have gone to court for cases that the applicants didn't exactly meet the criteria, but still, after going to court, we were able to convince the Ministry of Interior to give these great-grandchildren of Jews a visa in Israel. And this is for people that don't exactly meet the criteria of the procedure, but usually they're close. For example, if this great-grandchild is a little bit above the age of 18, but there's still reasons that the family needs to be together, or if this minor came together with his family, with his parents, and then had to leave and came back. We had a case that even a person got married and came back with a spouse, and after going to the administrative district court, we were able to reach an agreement with the Ministry of Interior to allow this person to stay in Israel together with his spouse, who was not Jewish. So even if you don't exactly meet the criteria of the procedure, you're welcome to contact us and we can hear your case and give our legal assessment if there is any chance for Israeli residency. Well, if you have any questions regarding immigration to Israel in general or specifically visas in Israel for great-grandchildren of Jews, don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you for listening.